Hey everyone, Carlos here from A Difficult Truth. So, as many of you probably saw, Donald Trump did his State of the Union address after, this whole government shutdown thing. Um, Nancy Pelosi told him that he would be able to do his State of the Union address after the government reopened. Well, he went ahead and did the speech on Tuesday. So, a couple of things. The speech was filled with a lot of contradictions and some flat out lies. Although I have to admit, for Donald Trump, it was a very tame tone. I honestly expected it to be some kind of campaign rally, basically. Nonetheless, it was still filled with a lot of contradictions, misinformation. For example, he stated that immigrants were the reason why our wages were going down and why there's less jobs, is he implied. And then this is after he's talking about a booming economy that no other president has ever achieved, apparently. So, which one is it? Is it that we have an abundant amount of jobs, so immigrants getting taking jobs is not going to be a problem if there's a surplus of jobs? Or are there no jobs and immigrants are taking our jobs? It can't be both at the same time. He's also blaming them for lower wages, which is also not true because last time I checked, the employees don't choose the wages, it's the actual employers. These corporations, including Donald Trump's, who hire and hired illegal immigrants, are the ones that drive lower wages because they're illegal. They can charge them whatever they want, and they often get abused in that sense. So it's the actual corporations who determine how much you get paid. So they are the problem, not the actual immigrants. He did also state that he wants many people, more than more than ever before, to come in, but legally, which is true. I mean, everyone stood up for that one. But when these people come on these dangerous caravans that he's saying that it's like an invasion, which is not true, they're there to seek asylum. The only way to do that, legally speaking, is to go to a port of entry and seek asylum. So they are doing it the legal way. They are trying to go through the process. It's just not efficient. We need more judges, and we can't just send these people to Mexico or, start breaking families apart to try to deter them. Another thing that he went on about is the wall, of course, which like most of Congress didn't, half of Congress didn't even stand up for. There is no crisis at the southern border. He also went and used some of these guests as basically political pawns, trying to pull on our heartstrings, pull on America's heartstrings, with all these stories about how this one family had got killed by an illegal alien. And it's true, it's a very tragic, and it does happen. It's just not happening in a vast majority of numbers. It's not a crisis that's like rampant. Native citizens are more likely to commit crimes than illegal aliens. And although it is very sad that this family had to suffer a loss like this, it doesn't mean that now every single illegal alien is like a murderer, or they're just here, their only purpose is to bring crime. He only focused on the sex traffickers, human traffickers, drug dealers, drug smugglers, gang members. He was also stating another MS-13 gang member was involved in a shooting. MS-13 was actually started in the USA. So I don't know what he's talking about. How this is like they're pouring in by the thousands at the southern border. That's just not true. Oh, I don't know if you guys caught this, but he went on about saying about how he wants to increase equal rights for women around the world or something like that. Or he was basically something about women's rights, making more equality and things like that, which sounded beautiful. And I was like, great, so he's going to introduce policy. Nah, he started going off on about China and tariffs and how they've treated us badly. It made absolute no sense. And then he tried to go on about how he wants to help defeat AIDS, which, I mean, who doesn't? But proposed no policy to doing that. I mean, I thought he was going to introduce universal healthcare. Something that I don't know if it got the proper attention was his one quote that says that he said, "We cannot have peace and legislation and war and investigation." Basically saying that we can't be, the members of Congress and the executive branch can't be at war with each other if they're going to be legislating. That sounds like a threat to me, because it's like he's saying to call off these investigations and let me go scot-free, which is not at all the case. Nancy Pelosi says not a chance. A lot of representatives of Congress saying, no, we're going to do our job. And, you know, threat or no threat, we're going to do our job, which is good. But it's very eerie hearing that hearing that from the President of the United States, basically threatening Congress, saying, you know, you need to stop these investigations so that we can have peace. And again, he said if you continue to mess with him, that the economy is going to go down, which is not at all. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that him being the president has any great effect on the economy per se. So if he gets impeached or something like that, the economy is not going to collapse. But yeah, it's just weird. I don't know if you guys go back to that video, the State of the Union, and watch him say it. It's just very eerie to hear the President of the United States, basically in kind of an authoritarian tinge, say something like that. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, why don't you hit that big red subscribe button and ring that little bell so that you get notifications when our videos go live. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/adifficulttruth. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/adifficulttruth. And you can listen to us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/adifficulttruth. I'll leave all the links in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya!